work, but we're now on the road to Amarillo. Cue song. It's the way to Amarillo. And here, like in Hollywood, there are things in this pavement for all the musicians. So as you walk along, there's Johnny Cash. And it's now sort of getting slightly darker, early evening, and the lights are coming on. And another view as the lights are coming on. There's Alison. Well, now we're going to visit an island in the Mississippi called Mud Island, and there's a pedestrian walkway across to it, which we're on now. As we're up here, you can see the bridge we came over into Memphis. There's the pyramid, which is just shopping area, we think. And as we get further across, we'll see various bridges across the Mississippi. We're just starting to cross the river. So you can see a bridge in the distance and some of the river boats here. There's also a large set of barges being pushed down the river towards the bridge in the distance that you might be able to see. Obviously you can catch a little river boat here and have a pleasure cruise of some kind. So there's Memphis on the left, skyline again, and that's Mud Island over now directly ahead. Well, here's the main channel of the Mississippi. There's a little side channel off to one side. There's the bridge we drove over coming into Memphis. So that's looking upstream, I think, yeah. And then you look down now. You see the bridge in the distance. Downstream. So quite wide here. I think it gets much wider as it goes further south. Well, we're still on a veranda having crossed the river, and we notice that down below in the kind of area beneath us what looks to be a kind of reconstruction of the Mississippi. So I'm not sure how far it goes, but this is the bit we can see from where we are. Funnily enough, underneath the bridge we've been walking on is a monorail which runs underneath it and crosses where we've just gone. We did know that, but apparently it's not running today. So when we got to the other side, we saw there was one of the trains here. So you can see where it goes over into the distance. So here we are at that scale model of the Mississippi. Apparently it's accurate, and it's half a mile long, and it kind of recreates the route of the Mississippi and all the various kind of floodplains and so on. Obviously I'm not going to film every inch of this thing, but the scale is about one step is 1 mile, and there are a few places where they've got bridges and things like that. So I'll take a few pictures as we go down so you can see it. So this is showing an area where different rivers come together, and there are like kind of waterfall boards with the states marked on, showing you where the rivers originate and then come together to join. And this place is a place called Cairo, of all places, where once again you get a junction with presumably a bridge across it, and on it flows. Here's a large area, I guess showing that there's a huge floodplain for it as it flows down. Lots of different areas it can form lakes and things. So it's really a good, clever idea. And here we are with this whole kind of plan on the floor is Memphis, and showing you the bridges that are crossing the Mississippi roundabout. And Alison standing on West Memphis, and our hotel must be somewhere round about here. Oh, I'm looking for where we are.
So I read.
Oh, oh, that's Florida Street. Yep. Oh, we can't actually find where our hotel is. It's quite close to the river, but can't kind of locate it quite yet. Oh, here it is. No, that's South 3rd. It was Front Street. Yeah, it probably isn't labelled. Yeah, we've found it.
There's Mud Island.
There's Mud Island where we are at the moment, and our hotel is on Front Street, just about there. So as I zoom out, this is all Memphis. This whole area is marked as Memphis. And there's the airport. So apparently the Arkansas and White Rivers now are coming in to join the Mississippi. So they use that waterfall to kind of show the waters, and then Mississippi's coming from that side, joining together and flowing on south in a very complicated way. We guess ultimately towards New Orleans. And here we are at New Orleans, and as you can see, it now goes off to the Gulf of Mexico. So here it is as the river flows out to the Gulf of Mexico, which in this case is a large pool. I just thought you might be interested to see Memphis on a Saturday night at about 7 o'clock, and as you can see it's kind of pretty deserted. It is amazing how quiet some of the American cities are. We've just been in a pizza place which is fairly busy, but there's hardly anyone around. It's just hard to understand. And just to show there is some life in the place, here comes a party bike, which Thomas will be all too familiar with. It's Sunday morning and we're heading towards the Civil Rights Museum, and this is now looking down Main Street towards Beale Street and beyond, and this is really just to show you how quiet it is. There's hardly anybody around. We're just hoping the museum is actually open. Very quiet.
Move to the back of the bus. I need that seat now. Please move back. If you can sit there in other buses, suppose you get off and into one of them. If you don't move out of that seat, I'll have you arrested. Get up from there.
In 1955, if you had not moved by this point, you would be arrested.
This is the Martin Luther King Museum in Memphis, and this is where he was assassinated. You can see the thing up at room 306, that's where he was standing on the balcony when he was shot on April the 4th, 1968. And this is or was a motel, as you can guess, called the Lorraine Motel. And he was shot, we think, from that building ahead with a sort of tower on it. And there is another part of the museum we can go into just across the way, which we'll be looking at. So at the National Civil Rights Museum, the Lorraine Motel. We've actually been around it, as you've probably seen, and now we're on the outside. Let's just swing around once more. as well as preserving the motel where Martin Luther King was shot, they seem to have preserved the site where they think he was the assassin lived. This is the kind of exterior of the boarding house, which is opposite, and you've just seen the views from inside. But basically, walking back in, there's the view of the motel, and going into the room where it was supposed to have taken place. And I reckon he was shot from this bathroom window here. Can't go in, there's a pane of glass in front of me, but you can get the view from an adjacent window to show really just how close you are to the balcony where Martin Luther King was standing, where the wreath is. Well, this one is for Thomas. Just off Beale Street, the Music Street, is the Gibson factory. So I think that Memphis is the home of Gibson guitars, and this is where at least some of them are made. So there we go. And the Gibson factory does seem to have a retail store here. We're not sure whether this still is a factory though, because there doesn't seem to be much evidence of kind of, well, things happening. There's lots of space up for rent apparently, but they at least do have a retail store still here. So it's closed, so I can't show you anymore, but there we go. Quite a lot to choose from, I guess. We're inside now the Peabody Hotel. This is probably the classiest place, and they're famous for having ducks in the lobby, so you can see them in the fountain here. Apparently they bring them downstairs twice a day. They have like a duck parade. But this is the main lobby, as you can see around. Really quite grand. And a shopping area behind me. I thought you might like to see the sat-nav at the moment. I thought it was saying turn right in about 170 odd yards. It's actually 179 miles. We're on the 40 going towards Nashville.